How dare the federal government raise taxes on rich people, then cut taxes for everybody else? Revolt, outrage, socialism, socialism. Last night on this program, I was joined by Anna Marie Cox for a rather difficult discussion about teabagging. Conservative activists and Fox News Channel teaming up to organize protest actions that include sending tea bags to members of Congress, pledging to teabag the White House.
They're going to try and send tea bags to D.C. D.C. Teabag the White House. Teabag the fools in D.C.
At the risk of saying the word teabag more than my conscience can bear, there are two remaining points here that I would hope to still be able to clear up. First, in our last discussion of this topic, we reported that Republican Party Chair Michael Steele had asked to speak at a teabagging in Chicago planned for next week. We reported that because the organizer of the Chicago teabagging posted online his response to Mr. Steele, telling Mr. Steele that no, he would not be allowed to speak. Mr. Steele is now denying that he ever asked to speak at the Chicago teabagging. He says he was just sending a heads up that he was going to be in the area. In other words, it's a he said at this point. And who am I to get into the middle of a fight between a pseudo-revolutionary right-wing teabagging organizer and the head of the Republican Party? The second point is a larger point about the overall purpose of the teabagging protests. This is not just political anthropology. At least a dozen ambitious Republican members of Congress have signed on to appear at these events. The unofficial Republican Party media outlet, Fox News Channel, has explicitly endorsed these events. Unless John Boehner or Michael Steele are secretly much more popular than they appear to be, these events organized around the idea of teabagging seem to be the only real sign of energy, the only real sign of life on the political right. If we are to retain our two-party political system, and this teabagging movement is the nucleus from which the post-McCain, post-George Bush Republican Party is going to regenerate, if this is where the action is, it's worth knowing what it's for, right? What it's about. It's worth taking a glimpse at the future of the Republican Party. The Tax Day protests, of course, have not happened yet, so we can't look to those for evidence. But there have been previous teabagging events in February. What can they tell us about how the GOP will find its way out of exile? A few themes emerge. Theme number one, down with Obama. The down with Obama theme is evident not only in the outright denunciations of Obama, like these folks' signs and T-shirts in Fort Worth, but also in the theories about the president subscribed to by teabaggers. A man not sympathetic to them in Cleveland shot this footage at their Cleveland teabagging February 27th rally.
Do you think Barack Obama was born in the United States?
Kenya, wasn't he?
I don't know for sure.
I don't know.
You don't think he was born in the United States?
No, I do not.
No, positively not.
Positively.
Positively.
Chances are he's not.
I'm not sure on that, to be honest.
No, I think he was. I think he's a Kenyan.
So that's theme number one. Obama's not actually president. He's not even American. Down with Obama. Second discernible theme, oddly, a dislike of the Federal Reserve. You know, the Ben Bernanke, Alan Greenspan thing, the Central National Bank?
I want to print some money. The Federal Reserve does it. Why can't I?
You see a lot of Ron Paul signage and slogans at the teabagging events thus far, which is often very closely linked to the I hate the Fed sentiment. So that's discernible theme number two, down with the Federal Reserve. Let's just have, private banks like Citigroup and stuff. That'll be much more stable. Discernible theme number three, taxes. Not like Boston Tea Party, the whole taxation without representation thing. Just no to taxes, full stop. This is taxation with representation ain't so hot either. And the other one, taxation with representation sucks too. This is the message that's being sold most aggressively about what the great conservative teabagging protests of 2009. The idea is that they're against taxes. That's mostly what they're for. You can also buy lawn signs that say, taxed enough already. Get it? T-E-A? T? There are T-shirts, bumper stickers, taxed enough already. The outrage. Our taxes are outrageous. We will evoke the spirit of the American colonists who seceded from the tyrannical government that taxed them so unjustly. These Obama tax policies are just unconscionable. You know what Obama's done to taxes? In the less than 3 months he's been in office, he's passed the biggest middle-class tax cut in American history. Honestly, these protests are organized around the principle of taxed enough already, and they're protesting now? Right after taxes just got cut for everyone making less than $250,000 a year? Maybe all these folks are outraged because the tax rate for people who make more than $250,000 a year is going to go back to what it was under Bill Clinton. That's the outrage? Remember how much the rich suffered under Clinton? Never again. Really? Maybe it's the outrage that the debt and deficit are high. But then, wouldn't you have protested when George W. Bush turned hundreds of billions of dollars of surplus into $1 trillion deficit, and then the economy collapsed before he left office? Maybe it's outrage that Obama won the election? Teabagging is an embarrassing word. The idea of teabagging the White House is even more embarrassing. This guy's sign says Pork DC. Conservative writer Andrew Sullivan today suggested that in the absence of any clear motive for protesting, the tea parties should be seen as tea tantrums instead. Awaiting further signs of rational motivation, I am inclined to agree.